Well, hello. Welcome to the YouTube video here on the channel. My name's Emily Jane. Today we're back at Frankfurt. We're in the ICE4 today, again by 3D Zug. Doors are beeping over there.
Führerraum besetzt.
Okay. So in the cab of the ICE4, we'll prepare the cab and then we'll talk about it. So reverse goes forward.
Störung.
You can see in ICE, so
Störung.
yeah.
Führerraum besetzt.
So I'm pressing Control Shift A, S and D to turn on the safety systems. I'm pressing Shift A,
AFB.
which gets us AFB. So we'll set that to a departure speed limit of 40. And we'll watch that little ice train roll in there. Or icy train with a 101 push. So yeah, the cab's set up for departure now. So today we're going from here at Frankfurt down to Manheim, as the title will hopefully have said at this point, in the ICE4. The ICE4, one of my favourite versions of the ICE, in fairness. We are due off blocks in the not too distant future. One of my favourite ones. It's 12 carriages, so it's substantially long. The beeping's coming from down here, I've got no idea. Unfortunately, we've got another driver in the rear cab. Actually, this is a feature I want to point out before we depart. You can choose either a male or a female driver. I chose female because that represents me better. And I do feel as though that's something that is an underestimated feature in Train Simulator, of how much of a difference that makes when you see someone who, alright, doesn't represent you entirely, but is a bit better. So yes, in the cab, quick cab tour, PZB controls as usual. As usual again, pantograph, main circuit breaker AFB, throttle, 7-step brake, sorry, door control panel, which I haven't closed yet, wiper control panel, parking brake, which I need to release, because otherwise we won't be able to depart and it'll shout at us. Brake pressure indicator, brake gauges, this is sort of brake and various other things indicator. That's our bulla, again, doors closing. So yeah, bulla once again implemented. We've got the standard stuff up here, which is headlights, cab light, sanding, horn. Okie doke. So that's the worry for departure now. So unlock
Federspeicherbremse.
Right.
Federspeicherbremse.
No, it was reached the first time. I'm an idiot. There we go. Take power. So where we go? Our start speed limit today is 40 kilometers an hour, which is just over the point as we depart Frankfurt station from Manheim. This train's actually on its way down to Paris, where it'll arrive around midnight, because we're departing, as you can see, in about a minute to 7. So it'll actually arrive around 1 o'clock in the morning, so it's probably the last train of the day for Paris. In order to let the speed build up gently to 40 miles kph, you've got the road.
Zugbeeinflussung.
So we're clear
SIFA.
That. And you can see the SIFA stuff appears over here, PZB as usual is on here. That indicates how much power we're putting down across all traction motors. That's how much current we're getting from the overhead line. Kilowatt hours used, which is substantive. Nice little bit of snaking as we come out for no apparent reason whatsoever, but it looks cool. So to clear the point, so about this point actually is where the 60 technically comes into force. However, we've got a 12-car train, so it takes a little while longer. So we've got to wait until the front of the train passes under this bridge. We've got, so those controls are explained, everything's explained in the cabinet. So you've got a bit of an understanding. Once again, SIFA is the driver safety device. So that's to make sure I haven't fallen asleep, or taken ill, or making sure I'm basically alive and awake. And PZB makes sure I'm paying attention. So, for example, when you see us go past an adverse signal, so for example an amber, I have to hit page down, which is PZB acknowledge, which acknowledges to the system that I'm aware of that signal. It may then enforce a speed restriction on us, which we then have to abide by. Cool, you understand it? Awesome. go for 60. There's a GSMR over here, emergency brake plunger. Cab doors behind us. And we've got a fuse panel here which controls things like the PZB, etc. So it's good that we have that enabled, because actually for the majority of today's journey we're going to be under PZB operation. Not quite as much as it was on Munich-Augsburg, but sort of a bit less probably actually than it has been on the other high-speed runs, which is, you know, a bit different I guess. I'm hoping to be doing Munich, well actually we can probably call this journey at Manheim. That's still a pretty impressive journey, because we've driven Cologne-Aachen, then Cologne, Koblenz, Frankfurt down to Manheim now. Got an ICE4 coming the way, give them a cheeky little wave. So once again, this is a modified scenario. This is a modified version of the Deja Vu scenario that comes with the BR407. I just like the 3D circ. This thing, to me, has to be nicknamed the duck. Like, just look at the shape of that nose. It looks like a duck. Also, at the time of recording this video, Donald Trump leads Joe Biden by 2,500 votes in Georgia. If I haven't made it clearer already, I am definitely pro-Biden in this whole thing. And that's actually pretty awesome to me.
Zugbeeinflussung. Sie fahr.
And we're about to be going over the Rhine River again. I do enjoy route learning in these lovely high-speed trains. Bit of a flicker warning on what's going over there. Just look down at the floor. There are actually some speed signs on this route which are really confusing. To give you an idea, the one that we're just going through there at the moment is actually a 60, but you can't tell. Yeah, see, it just changes like that, and that's really frustrating in my opinion. That's just something to be aware of, I guess. Also, another thing to be aware of with this train is it's a 12-car train, so it's 288 metres long, so it's rather long for a passenger train. Just something to bear in mind. It has a max speed of 250. Although we'll only get up to 200 today. And this is Frankfurt Niederrad station. Passing the end, we can actually go up to 90 kilometers an hour. That's about now. There we go. It's actually, this train accelerates really rapidly. I'll just open the throttle fully, because the AFB can control the speed effectively. Also, I was planning to go to bed tonight, but I sort of failed quite miserably at that idea. It's now 4:30. It was, you know, when it got to sort of 3 AM, me lying in bed, I was like, you know, stuff it. So it's now 4:30. So I'm now up nice and early, gonna get, you know, gonna go for a walk, get, you know, make sure I'm nice and chilled out, get a shower, get dressed. Well, actually, I'll go up and get some food before I get some breakfast and stuff sorted out for me. I'm actually tempted to get pizza for my lunch, make pizza at home, and then just cut it up and take it to work with me. Because when I was travelling home, my bag failed basically, and it's actually an 80 passing the end of the station because of the way the signals are going to be set up for our route. So I'm just going to start the train off nice and early now. But basically my bag ripped, so I had to get some cling film and just wrap the bag in it. It's the only time I've ever bought cling film in my entire life. So that's why I have cling film in the house now. So I can wrap the pizza up, you know, it'll be nice, it'll be fresh, I can put it in my Tupperware box.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Zugbeeinflussung. So yeah, we're going to zip around this corner. And yeah, at the end of this corner actually, sorry, as I was saying, so I can pre-make some pizza. I'm definitely going to take some energy drinks with me just to be on the safe side. I'm going to try not to drink them because, you know, I know I get a bit jittery. Well, I don't use the phrase jittery, but, you know, when I'm in an environment where I'm wanting to make sure I'm thinking about what I'm saying, I perhaps don't want to drink energy drinks. That's the way I'll answer it. Yeah, see that sign there? That basically brings it into the LZB signalling system. And what I can do now is notch the train up to 120. And what I'm actually going to do is clear the CFA and just open the AFB fully up to 250. And what that does is that basically means the LZB system, or LZB, sorry, just takes over and controls the speed of the train. So we're now going straight up to 160. Quick guide to reading LZB. Hello 442, give him a cheeky wave. So this is our next speed restriction, which is 160. This is our distance to the next speed restriction, so it's over 9,900 meters. And then this is a scale counting down as we get closer to it. Yeah, for the next 70 or so kilometers, yeah, roughly 70, well no, 69 or so kilometers, giggity. All I need to do is acknowledge AFBs. So this is much longer, I suppose, than most of the journeys we do in TSW, but it's, you know, the first one was a bit more technical, I guess, than most of the Train Sim World stuff. I am hoping to be bringing a BR361 video at the channel. Just the problem with shunting video, you know, with route learning for that, is that's obviously a shunter, and there's a couple of mainline moves, which are like 10-15 minutes long, which aren't really all that interesting. And then obviously after that it's shunting, and the problem with shunting is it's difficult to figure out where the markers are unless you can, you know, enter the editor and put like a physical visual reference there. Because in the real world, as long as you're clear of the point or whatever, it's not a problem, you know. Whereas obviously in, you know, within Train Sim World, you have to be within usually it's set at 5 meters of the marker, depending on the train, of course. That's probably what I'll have a look at next. It's interesting actually, when I get the chime there, which is obviously in full warming and the speed's increased to 200 kilometers now, which is about 125 miles an hour. So, you know, when I'm fully supervised in LZB, I can reduce the speed below 200, but I can't tell the train to exceed 200 without disabling LZB entirely. And actually even then, it'll limit us to 160, because that's the maximum speed without in-cab signalling. So it's a safe system, and I like that. Yeah, you can see we've got the distance counting down now to the 160 speed restriction. And then you'll see it's starting to visualise now on the graph, counting down. As we're exiting Frankfurt into the countryside now, 125 miles an hour. You can see it's visualising the distance. We'll next you'll see the G icon up here, which I'm not sure what that actually sort of specifically means, if that makes sense. But there you can see it now. And then what will happen is the train will take over and slow us down. Now, you know, if we were going down a slope or there was poor track adhesion or something like that, I'd definitely be taking over from the train right now, and you know, making sure we're accelerating nice and early. But as you can see, it's got no problem managing the speed, especially on a nice and level track like we have today. I went back to my RW Enhancer profile, which I think has made the cab a bit dark, if I'm honest. Got a nice one there. That's of course what we drove in the last part. Creeping into the station. And there's 160. 160 for the curve. I always get caught out and hit the spacebar, which obviously is the wrong key to hit. But now again we're clear for 9.9k. The speed actually goes back up to 200. So I get the chime. I don't have to press any buttons. And as soon as the full train's clear, it'll automatically increase our speed and increase our permitted speed, and the train will start to accelerate under the supervision of AFB.
ICE4.
Again, it's just a nice relaxed drive today. And there's 200. And the train's just going to sit there now. Bear in mind we're due in Manheim at about 33 minutes past. And the time is now not indicated within my cab. Yeah. So we're due there within 22 minutes. And this is just because of how fast we're travelling. You know, it's... Yeah. I think this must be longer than Munich-Augsburg. But I think it's... because we're not travelling any faster. And Munich-Augsburg was a 30-minute video. Let's see how long this one was. But yes, I'm looking over now and I can see all my videos queued up for release. Or queued up for the upload queue. So, you know, it's going to be another one to go in there. This one probably won't get published until after work today, but... I'll try to upload it after work today, but it doesn't matter. Happy Monday anyway. At least that's the day I think it's probably going to go out. Let me know as well actually in the comments if you've made... First of all, if you've made it this far, well done. Second of all, do you want to see daily videos, or would you rather... You know, with... because like today I'm feeling really creative, so I've made like 4 videos. But there'll be other days where I'm not as creative and I don't want to make videos. So I could push these out daily, or I could pace myself out and, you know, give myself, say, you know, a video every 2 days, which would then mean, you know, 4 videos would last better than a week. And I'm just a bit unsure on how to do it. You know, I'm tempted to do every other day and then every day over the weekend. So you might get a video Monday, Wednesday, you know, probably Tuesday, Wednesday, you know, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, so, you know, something like that. You know, Monday, Tuesday, or so Monday, Wednesday, Friday, something like that, you know, every other day. And then Saturday, Sunday, by default. Which would make me 5 videos a week, but it would mean, you know, I know for a fact that, you know, well, my viewership tends to be younger people. So, you know, over the weekend, that's when most people have more time. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to give it some thought. So once again, obviously can't share this scenario with you because it was a clone of a DTG scenario. You can see we're running well ahead of time. Yeah, I actually changed the time slots on this slightly because with the ICE4 it slows you down somewhat because you obviously having to wait longer for the speed accelerations. So I padded the timings a bit, which is fine, and it just means that, you know, it's not down to my lack of skill that we're running late, it's down to the game, you know, or down to physics that we're running late effectively. Give that 425 a cheeky wave as we go past. So the reduction in speed, that also when we lose LZB is 3.2k. So we actually dropped down as low as 90 for a curve, which I believe is after Bibbles. Biblis.
Sie-Fahr.
So yeah, you can see I'm just sitting here with, you know, just babbling space back a couple of minutes. Every 30 seconds, sorry. Interestingly, in the ICE4 it seems to trigger the CFA every 30 seconds no matter what you do. So, CFA in general seems to trigger every 30 seconds, which I always found quite challenging when I was braking for a station. And I suppose it's why it's on a foot pedal in reality. Because, you know, I'll be using my one hand on the brakes, one hand on the throttle, you know, A and D, and, you know, on my keyboard it's at sign and colon. You know, and then I'll have to use a thumb to wallop the CFA off.
Sie-Fahr.
I just wanted to see if on that curve it lost anything, but it doesn't, which is good. Got around 42 kilometers to go to Manheim station itself. Now I'll talk a little bit about this route in general. So this is the Frankfurt high speed, As you can see...
Sie-Fahr.
No. Right. So you can see we are in this area here now. We've come down from... Great. Thank you, game. Frankfurt, which is up here. We've driven down the route to this point. We then turn off at Bivils, Bahnsteig, or Bahnsteig's platform. And then we come down to Manheim, which is over here.
Sie-Fahr. Sie-Fahr.
Now, after Manheim, this route was originally Mannheim-Karlsruhe, so that's this section here. I'm tempted to cover that as a Regio Bahn run because I do feel a bit guilty for not getting the 45 out. You know, I was wanting to do Koblenz-Trier, but that I just didn't get around to making the scenario for that route, if I'm perfectly honest. It was just, you know, a route too long for me. And so it's like a 90-minute drive or something. Which, you know, is perfectly fine, but it's just, yeah. I'm planning to bust out the SUX for that. 427. I'm calling it the 427 without checking.
Sie-Fahr.
So 11.4 to Bivils. 36. I checked 3 minutes ago. No, less than 3 minutes ago the last time. Right. So 200 is not a good speed to calculate timings for. If I was to calculate how long it's going to take us to get somewhere, I'd rather use 180 or 120 or 60. Because that divides better, of course. But is what it is. Now, when we slow down for this speed limit, you saw the 140 flash up there, and now it's changed to 90. So there's a 140 limit, and then not that far after it's a 90. So you'll see the train will slow down for the 140, stop, go past the 140, and pretty much immediately start braking.
Sie-Fahr.
So yeah, I'm not, you know, I'm not going to brake for it. I'll let the, you know, the combination of LZB and AFB slow us down. One of the things I do like about this train is the cab view. Passenger view. So you've got things like, you know, you can just tab through and you've got all these views, which are just awesome. Let's see. Other seat view, standing in the passenger cabin view, other seat view, so and then we're in the bike rack area, and then we're in the door compartment, which is nice. So there you go, you can see the trains now taken over, but there's the 141, it had a kilometre to go. You can see it ticking through a kilometre there. It's really bring the speed back, add some chop. And there's the 140. Now you watch what happens. You go down at 140, train's happy where it is. We you go through the 140 post, and it goes, nope, slowing to 90, got a kilometre to do it in. I'm happy I can do that. And the speed just starts trailing back off. Awesome. Hello, ICE4. Hello, 45. He is... couldn't read that. What's he going in a similar direction to us? Now, I think that was Big List Station. You can see we hit the 90 post here. Speed's down perfectly in time. And we curve off to the right. And it basically says we're clear to run for the next 9.9k at 90. But as soon as we enter... as soon as we exit this curve, sorry, our speed limit actually goes straight up to 160, I believe. And then again, as soon as we clear it, and as soon as we're safe to accelerate, the train accelerates itself. Love it.
ICE4. ICE4.
So you know, you barely need to look out the window with this. It just takes full care of itself. Bear in mind, I've not touched the brake, the throttle, or the AFB since you know, since we joined the main line, which was a good sort of 40 or so kilometres ago. That's impressive to me. Or 50 or so kilometres ago, sorry. And there's 200. Train goes beep. And then, as soon as the end of the train passes, you'll see it tick up. There you go.
ICE4. 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 ICE4.
There you go, so 9.7k until the next 160 limit. You can see how it's cutting down now. The system's aware of it, it's telling us, passing that information on to us as the operator. This route does look kind of cool. Like we're just in a dark cab in general. It's got quite small side windows. So I guess, yeah, that panel probably would be quite dark. But that's where I suppose you've got the backlit screens. So yeah, we got the one. We start basically speed washing off.
ICE4.
Moving himself up from a seat there. In the 3.2k, which we're still a little ways away from. Because if you think, you know, we're what 15k to Manheim, so you know we're 10k from the city centre when we get pushed back to 100 miles an hour. You know, that's not bad. That's pretty much on par with, you know, the approach to King's Cross.
ICE4.
At least on the fast lines. I'm also strangely enjoying recording German stuff at the moment more than I am British stuff. I suppose part of that will be because the train drives itself most of the time, like now. But yeah, I'll still enjoy it. I must be ahead of myself because he ain't moving yet. Or is that just pure DTG scenario design? Because this just comes from the from some of the earlier days. That's how I landed that.
ICE4.
we've got G's with that. Yeah, fine. So we can just... into the 160. You can see the speed's reading itself very nice and neatly. I could, if I wanted to, go ahead and set the AFB to 160 now, and it would probably restore it a little faster, but it doesn't matter, it doesn't have to. It's just a convenient way to drive, I guess. As soon as we pass this one, we'll see the next speed. 6 kilometres to the 120 post now. In around sort of 5-ish K. We'll also get the LZB end day, at which point we hit PZB acknowledge, I believe. It's actually the start of Manheim that we're entering here, sorry. So this is on the right, this is a scrapyard area, hence Ianos there. And that's what it looked like in the real world when I looked at it on Google Maps. That's why it's set up that way. So, fight me. What I will do for this one is actually set my AFB in the correct positions, because I believe that may be what caused me to get thingied last time. There we go. We'll just go 160 for the moment, which is fine. Perfectly fine. What I'll actually do as soon as we get the G, I'll just wallop it down myself. So now we're doing a kilometre every 30 seconds, so it's around a minute until, well, a little over a minute, sorry, until we pass the 120 post. Interestingly, no LZB to be seen in the track there. Oh no, my apologies. I might be hallucinating, but I'm fairly sure I say it. LZB Ende.
Zugbeeinflussung. Zugbeeinflussung.
LZB Ende. Okay, we're getting our speed drop, so I'll drop that down now to 120. And down comes the speed. Down comes everything. Yeah, I think it was my AFB position the last time. So LZB's now gone off, we're back into PZB monitoring now. And we've got around, in the not too distant future, we need to be dropping down to 100. So the 100's at the 1.1 marker. So, yeah, we need to drop down, and then we'll go down a hill. We basically go under an underpass. Oh, we go through an underpass, I should say. It's 1.1 when the 100 comes in, so I'll do it right now. My right hand's back on the PZB controls. Yeah, this is a subideal scenario. Oh well. Yeah, we are running about a minute and a half. We're only running a minute and a half early. So that's a badly designed scenario. Because if your players can get ahead, they will.
Zifa.
Or yeah, if always stop. I always sort of try and leave a 5-minute-ish buffer between the train coming through and you being seen. You know, so even if you say 2 minutes fast, anything beyond 2 minutes fast is, in my opinion, a little unreasonably quick. But it is what it is. You know, it happens. I'm going to put some brake on now because you need to be at 60 going passing the bottom of this hill.
Zifa.
So I'll let the brake off now. Yeah, it's passing this signal. We want to be doing 60. What we'll do is passing this signal, we want to drop down to 50. Now you'll look and you'll see another great, unintelligible, speed sign there. That's actually a 50 post. That's one of the not so great bits of this route.
Zwangsbremsung, Zugbeeinflussung.
Was too busy showing things off. Oh well. There goes my perfect score. You saw how well I was driving that as well. So it's
Zugbeeinflussung.
acknowledge, brake release, throttle close, throttle open. There you go, the engines, you can see we're going rather a steep slope to get out of here. 85, perfectly fine. We won't be doing above 50 before before we arrive in Manheim. Manheim station's about 500 metres away. You pop out of here and it's just over there basically.
Zwangsbremsung, Zugbeeinflussung.
What? Also, no one told me about this.
Zugbeeinflussung.
Okay, so we're now limit 45, unsurprisingly. Brake off. Power off. Power on. Power off. Power on. So that first one there was me too busy waffling on about the bad design of the route, and therefore being a bad driver. That last one, I've got no idea what triggered that. Because we saw 85 in the window down here, so, you know, I left 50 in the bag. I think it was, for whatever reason, misindicating, and it meant 45. But once again, you know, we're still going to be about 30 seconds ahead of time, which is perfectly fine. Welcome to Manheim Station. So yes, that is going to be the end of this wonderful video. Hopefully you have enjoyed our little journey today. Obviously, once again, we'll be arriving. We'll be doing a quick debrief at the end. But yeah, it's a shortish run, this one. I suppose we left about 40 minutes ago, so it's a little longer time-wise, at least, than most of the Trains and World stuff we did with the ICEs. I mean, I've tried to sort of mix up the ICE trains that we drive. So we've driven the ICE1, the ICE4, 2 versions of the ICE3. You know, I'm quite pleased with that. We're doing decently well for ourselves. I think it'd be the Velaro D is probably the next ICE we'll take out. So I'm just going to slow down. Maybe down at 25. Breeze brake. Then I'm just going to stop at the end here.
Sie-Fahr.
Let the rheostatics slow us down at 10. And we'll take over with the air brake now. So I'm firing the throttle a little, the brake now, sorry. So we're basically using the minimum amount of force to stop, and at least a nice smooth stop like that. Okay, that is us done for this video. So thank you once again very much for watching. See you next time, guys. Bye for now.